young men, criminalising them. They arrested 7 black men that night. One, my son went round the corner to knock on the doors to get help because he was injured. He knocked one door and it was an Indian family. And the Indian family was trying to open the door. So he next to another door, there was no one in there. He was just about to go to the 3rd house. There was a young man called Tom with his mum and dad loading food out the car. And my son said, please, could you help me? I'm injured. I've been knocked down by a car. He gave me his name and his address and his contact number. Obviously he was in a lot of pain because he had all those injuries. They called an ambulance.
Hi, Jackie.
So when the ambulance, hi darling, alright. When the ambulance came, the ambulance pulled up outside the house. The police saw the ambulance outside the house. They were looking for these young men in Peckham. They went up to the ambulance and they stopped the ambulance. What's going on here? They said, we've got injured boys. They thought, oh, I wonder if he's a suspect. So they decided to hold the ambulance up and deal with my son. They went and got cars in a car and they drove cars round to the house and they shone a big light on they cut my son's jacket off, held it up and they shone a big light on my son and they done a drive-by ID with cars in the car. So instead of my son's well-being on that night, instead of preserving life, they were more interested in criminalising our young black men, right? They shone the light on it and they took his jacket away. The ambulance came. Apparently the woman was so upset. She was angry that they had wheeled him out of the house into the rain so they could shine the light on him. That's how bad it was. She wrote a letter to the police to discuss that happened that night, right? How I realised this woman existed, when I got to the hospital, they phoned me from home and told me the son's been involved in an incident in Peckham. And he's at King's College, so I goes, they said he's alright. When I got to the hospital, my son was near enough, he was lucky to be alive. They were rushing him in to be x-rayed to see if he had spinal injuries. He had a neck brace on his neck and he was really poorly. When I got there, he had a block on his neck and he was taken down to the bed on a stretcher and he raised his head up and said, Mum, they've done it on purpose, they knocked me down. I didn't do anything and you can see tears in his eyes. I said, don't talk, because I thought he was going to die. I was very emotional. I said, don't talk, it's all right, it's all right. And he kept raising himself up and said, I didn't do anything, Mum. They knocked me down on purpose. They hit me from the back, he said to me, right? So I went to the officer and I said to the officer, are you aware that my son, I said to him, are you aware my son said that he was deliberately mowed down? Because they were saying they don't know what happened to my son, they just found him, whatever. And he says, I said, you need to go to Carnes and get that CC footage, right? And I asked him to call for the inspector. I was really annoyed. I went twice. When I went back to my son, he said the same thing. I said, this is attempted murder. To mow a boy down from the back like that. So what he done, the officer got upset. He goes, oh, your son is a suspect, he said. Your son has been involved in a very serious incident in Peckham, right? Involving firearms. I went, so I thought it's guns, you know what I mean? Because I know that don't relate to my son. My son's my own son. So then he said, when later on I found out the firearms happened to be CS gas. Someone had CS gas who had the problems in the cars. They took my son's clothes and it was all examined. There was no CS gas on none of his clothes. He had none on his hands or nothing. My other son they had took down the station along with my nephews and they kept them overnight in the police station. They always released no charges or nothing. But I was annoyed that my son could have lost his life because the ambulance was held up on that day with protecting property, right, in the community, right? That's what I was upset about. And all these people, they want to just criminalise our children. They don't care about us. You know what I mean? And it goes, when I saw it the other day, when I saw, you just go down one here. When I saw what happened the other day, it brought back memories, right? And I said, nothing has changed. But what really grieved me on that time when my son got locked down is because we have our radio station in the community, right? seeing our radio stations, whether we have differences with them, Galaxy radio stations especially, right? We have people with conflict of interest who, if they don't like certain people, they can't have a voice. When we say community radio stations, it's supposed to be about the community. If you have something valuable to say, you're supposed to be the first means of being able to say it, and then people will decide for themselves. So when what grieved me most is to see my people still shopping with these people for over 5 years, and I couldn't even go and tell people what happened. So when it happened to Charmaine, I phoned Galaxy that day to tell them what I had said on the Wednesday, and I said the Reel Ashanti Justice Centre is going to have a boycott. We're going out there on Saturday because we're saying enough is enough. We can't have these people running out yesterday all day and our black man stand aside and do nothing. You know what I mean? We become redundant in our own community. You know, I'm ashamed when I walk down Peckham and I see Peckham's been taken over. Where's our shops? Everybody's selling our food, everybody's selling our hair owls, everything. We become redundant in our own community. So this now is to wake up people. We don't feed people who beat us. These people have been running for our right community for over 7 years. Because we had incidents, people, when we come out here, it was about Charmaine's son. But when we come out here, we hear there's so many cases. This is not about an individual. He won't be the first and he won't be the last. This is about our community. This is the way now. Out of this, we need to be creating businesses. We need to be, you know, communicating with the council, right? So the council are responsible for how this community, this Peckham is locked up. Because they're not giving shops to black people. This is a deliberate plan to make us in our community redundant, right? Our black men are out of work. We need black enterprises in our community, right? But what we have to do, keep taking our little benefit money and spending with everybody and we can't help ourselves. They're laughing after us. We've got self-worth. We want to do for self, right? It starts with us, right? So I'm glad. I think this boycott has been very, very successful, right? Very successful. We've actually woken up people. We've done what we set out to do. I said the Reel Ashanti Justice Centre have done what they set out to do. And we're glad that we were able to communicate with the community and let them know, educate them, wake them up, tell them about their self-worth, right? Tell them we can do for self. But out of this become a lot of hijacking going on, right? Because what's happening is there's been a split in the group, right? Because what we set out to do in the beginning is something different now. People seeing it as business for themselves. I don't care, right? This is about community. It's not about one or two individuals, right? If you want to go and say just about your son, take your sorry ass to court and go through the channels. Don't use the people to do it, right? We're here because it's about the whole of the community. This is not just one person's been here, right? This is about something that's affected the whole community, right? And we don't expect people to be hijacking, you know, other people's plans. We plan to get a coach load of Africans. We're going to get 2 coaches. First week in December and the 3rd week in December. And we're going to go to Smithfield's Market. We're going to go Billingsgate Market. We're going to go to Smithfield's Market where we can get our own fruit and vegetables and salads. We need to take the people to the market to get the fresh food and take the community out of Peckham. We need to dry out these people, right? Let them know that we don't need them. They don't have no respect for us. You're not going to get our money. No respect, no money. So that's what we stand for, you know what I mean? So I think it's a good thing and the job has been well done. As you can see, Peckham has never been so empty for years. People are waking up, people are talking to their people, and we're hearing. We've been seeing people running for Peckham for years, 7 years, beating us and done nothing about it.
Now the food prices have gone down.
Yeah, the food
you can see the
prices.
effect because I've never seen free whole yam for £5 before. Never ever, and I'm up here every week.
Yeah, because their food is spoiling. If you notice, it's very quiet in Peckham, and I'm glad we've done a good job. You know what I mean? And what it is, it's brought the community together. It's, you know what happened? Peckham will be well known for Peckham boycott. because some people said, what are you going to do? Oh, we're used to that. They're always beating people. What difference is it going to make? But it's made a difference. It made them talk to us more better. They've been each shop empty, everywhere empty. They need us. We don't need them. We need to start eating. Come back.
Slow, but it's working.
Yeah. But the people stop using the shops, we're educating people.
No, man.
What do you think about the boycott? What do you think about the Reel boycott? What do you think about it? Is it a good thing?
It is a good thing, isn't it?
Ah, why is it good?
It's good in the sense that we have to set the example for these people.
Okay, so what do you say?
Every nation is taking disadvantage of us, right? Generation after generation after generation now. We have to stop it somewhere. May not stop in my lifetime.
But it is. You've witnessed, you've lived to see it stop because you see how it's been effective.
Very much so.
Right? It's been effective. You know what I mean?
Very much so.
Well, it's better we do that than we do nothing. Just slide that and die.
No.
One thing I hate about when I used to go in there, when you go in there, every turn you turn, they're behind you. You just put everything and come out. If anybody don't trust you, don't want to spend with them. Put your things down and come out. Right? But from they run my son down, I vowed I would never go in there. I educated my family. Everybody knows, don't buy nothing there. And that's what we done. So what we done, what I want is for my son. It was for Charmaine's son. And it will happen. All them young men have been beaten for years. They're getting away with it. Because what happened is, they beat you. Then the police, they called the police, money bags. Then they called the police. And then the police come and handcuff you when you're covered in blood and take you away and then charge you. Up to last week I was out here, there was another case where a young little boy, he had a bit of behaviour problem. He bought a fire and he brought it back. And what they done, they didn't even repair it, they argued with him. And then he argued back. And then again, the police come and took him away and arrested him. And now he's criminalised, right? And he was 18 years old. So we just say enough is enough. Alright then, so I think that boycott is a good thing, right? You know what I mean? And we just have to educate our people. Okay. And also, our next mission, the Reel Ashanti Justice Centre, is we're going down to Tutu. Because we're very concerned about that programme that went out about the funeral parlours, the way they're treating our black people. So we're going down to that undertakers, and we're going to highlight to the people down there, look, your dead people, your loved ones with these wicked people who want to abuse us and call us back bastards when we're dead, and when we're pushing us into the church to have what's called farewell ceremony. People can't stand the smell of us, how the bodies are reeking and stenching. It's not on. And nothing's going to change if we don't do something about it. We are in charge of our own destiny, you know what I mean? And we have to know we're bigger than we realise, you know what I mean? We are our own gods, right? And kings and queens. And respect starts with ourselves. When we respect ourselves, others will respect us.
Okay, sir.
I got your card.
Yes.